A Supreme Court justice warns that Trump's re-election would seriously threaten democracy. In a speech on the third anniversary of the January 6th insurrection, President Joe Biden will portray former President Donald Trump as a threat to democracy this Saturday. I will walk you through everything in this video. Please hit the subscribe button before I continue. And turn on alerts to begin receiving our daily breaking news. I am grateful. The Biden administration announced this week that the address will play a significant role in the campaign's efforts to highlight the importance of the upcoming presidential fight, which is expected to resemble the 2020 contest. Campaign executives issued a quite dire warning against a Trump victory on a call with reporters to announce the event on Saturday. According to Michael Tyler, director of communications, if Trump prevails in November, campaign manager Julie Chavez Rodriguez continued, stating that he would use all his power to systematically destroy our democracy. We are conducting this campaign with the sincerity that our democracy's future depends on it. Biden will make his speech close to Valley Forge in the Philadelphia region. Valley Forge is a famous Revolutionary War site where George Washington brought his army together in the late 1700s. The president will openly argue for democracy and freedom there. Generations of Americans have sacrificed their lives for the two potent concepts that brought the 13 colonies together, which largely form the basis of the war we are currently engaged in. Quinton Volz, a spokesman and director of the Biden campaign, stated. Additionally, campaign leaders claimed that since the previous election, Trump has grown more threatening. In the years afterward, the danger that Donald Trump poses to American democracy in 2020 has only gotten worse. According to Chavez Rodriguez, Trump will host two campaign events on Saturday, which could lead to a split-screen scenario. The Mother Emanuel African Methodist Episcopal Church in Charleston, South Carolina, is the site of a 2015 mass shooting in which a confessed white supremacist killed 9 people. Bolden will make his campaign speech there the following week. Whether it's the attack on our country's capital on January 6th or the white nationalists' invasion of Charlottesville, a historic American city, or the murder of Mother Emanuel by a white nationalist over 10 years ago, America is determined to oppose the rise in political violence because it worries about it. Nevertheless, in a fictitious matchup, Biden dominated the most recent NBC News survey. Within the poll's margin of error, 44% of respondents in the November survey selected Biden, and 46% selected Trump. Biden's approval rating has dropped to 40%, the lowest it has been during his presidency. At the same time, Trump embarrassed himself in public today. During a rally, concerns about former President Donald Trump's mental health are being scrutinized following his decline. Those closest to him have allegedly expressed doubts about whether he is mentally present. In a Wednesday, January 3, 2024, RW Story, writer Jonathan Karl, best known for his Front Row Trump tell-all at The Trump Show, discussed these issues. Karl emphasized on Air Mansion and 3 Cs, the Red Doubt, that people who have concerns about Trump's mental health are not just outsiders but also people who were once close to him, including former members of his administration. How do you feel about this topic? Kindly share your thoughts and opinions in the comments section. Let's have a discussion. The study that centered the conversation was whether Trump might win the presidency again in 2025. Taking into account comments made by people who used to be his advisors and confidants, there were serious questions about Trump's leadership abilities raised by his actions and lack of follow-through on the January 6, 2001, Capitol riot. This pivotal point in Trump's presidency drew harsh criticism and sparked concerns about his ability to lead. Even though people like former Treasury Secretary Steven Mnuchin and Secretary of State Mike Pompeo denied it, Jonathan Kyle noted that there is sworn testimony that acknowledges discussions on Trump's mental health. The reporter emphasized that, following his resignations from the cabinet, there was less support for tackling these issues. Even with worries about Trump's mental health, the piece just skims the surface of other political developments. Former federal prosecutor Glenn Kirshner estimates a high likelihood of Trump being found guilty. According to former federal prosecutor Glenn Kirshner, the likelihood of Trump being found guilty is quite high. The article explores legal proceedings as well, including the actions of special counsel Jack Smith and President Trump in response to accusations of federal election meddling. CNN's Smith's forceful filing, according to legal commentator Norm Eisen, was a major step against Trump's central claim of presidential immunity from prosecution. Former South Carolina Governor and UN Ambassador Nikki Haley has responded to former President Donald Trump by accusing him of spreading lies about her background. On Wednesday, January 3, 2024, Raw Story released an article claiming that the dispute intensified with the release of a heated Haley advertisement. This commercial was a retort to one that the Trump campaign had run, criticizing her tax policies during her governorship. Haley is focusing on Trump's inaccurate accusation about a non-existent gas tax in South Carolina during her governorship for the sake of this contentious commercial. During a Q&A session with voters at Wentworth by the Sea, Haley shared her thoughts on the subject. She thanked Trump for his time and stated that she enjoyed his attention during his outbursts and advertising. She responded without holding back, saying that everything he had ever said had been a lie and that he had never accepted accountability for his deeds. However, it appears that reality is more nuanced. Haley did, in fact, support a proposal in 2016 that included a reduction in income taxes as well as an increase in the gasoline tax. She did not succeed in getting her proposition approved, which is to her credit. Interestingly, Haley stated in her commercial that President Trump was in favor of a 25 cents per gallon federal gas tax rise in 2018. Haley is now running on a platform calling for the total repeal of the federal gas tax in the 2024 presidential election. In addition to the disagreement over taxes, Haley attacked Trump's economic proposals continuously during the process. Despite acknowledging excellent working conditions during Trump's administration, Haley expressed alarm over the $8 trillion added to the national debt during his presidency. "You don't go throw us in debt and then act like we have a strong economy." Haley said she made a point of stressing that her critique extends beyond the here and now and focuses on the possible consequences for coming generations. Nikki Haley has gained popularity among Republicans searching for a contender other than Donald Trump in the last few weeks. Haley appears as a potential candidate as Florida Governor Ron DeSantis, who was once considered a strong contender against Trump, faces obstacles that could cause his campaign to implode. Despite this, Trump is still in office. According to the most current statistics from 538, he would be in a dominant position, ahead of Haley and DeSantis by 35 points. On January 1, 2024, Newsweek published an article by former White House attorney Ty Cobb criticizing Donald Trump's legal strategies as frivolous and based on delaying pending criminal prosecutions. Trump has pleaded not guilty to all 4 charges this year, which include claims of improper management of classified information and meddling in elections. Cobb, a former Trump aide, emphasized the president's wish to delay these proceedings in order to potentially gain an advantage in the 2024 race for a pardon or convince the DOJ to drop the charges. Given that DOJ Special Counsel Jack Smith became involved in the criminal proceedings, Trump may employ this strategy. Cobb has expressed severe disapproval of Trump's handling of the prosecution. He rejected the legal actions taken against him and Trump's criticism of prosecutors as mere tactics. Cobb discussed the DOJ case against Trump to support his criticism for mishandling classified information and making inappropriate remarks about their capabilities. He reaffirmed his confidence in the ability of the Department of Justice to prove Trump's obstruction. It shouldn't be difficult to demonstrate that Trump lied to the Justice Department and shifted these materials in regard to his unwillingness to turn over sensitive information when he left office, according to Cobb. Trump's new defense lawyer, John LaRue, has described Trump's attempts to win over former Vice President Mike Pence as aspirational. In a different statement, Cobb refuted these claims. He dismissed the argument, hinting that the defense does not apply in this case by equating it to a gang commander instructing his members to breach the law. He cautioned that LaRue's remarks might have an impact on Trump's legal team. Legal experts project that LaRue's remarks may impact Trump's legal team, potentially causing a delay in the start of his first trial, which is scheduled to begin shortly and focus on financial irregularities. This delay is due to the ongoing examination of presidential immunity arguments by appellate courts. Appellate courts are currently examining presidential immunity arguments, causing a potential delay in the start of Trump's first trial. Trump's legal team has maintained that since he was president at the time of the alleged offenses, he is exempt from prosecution. Arguments based on Trump's official duties during the alleged activities, however, are casting doubt on this school of thought. Furthermore, investigations are underway regarding the riots that took place on January 6, 2021, in addition to these trials. The state attorney general, Letitia James, is suing Trump for fraud, and a Manhattan district court handed down indictments for a conspiracy involving Stormy Daniels and Michael Cohen to obtain hush money. Additionally, Trump was recently sued by journalist E. Jean Carroll. Cobb's remarks, as a lawyer who worked in Trump's administration, shed light on the challenges and potential weaknesses in Trump's legal case. These statements highlight how serious Trump's legal issues are, the depth of their possible ramifications, and the expertise of his legal counsel. Let us know what you think in the comments section below while you wait. Please give us a thumbs up if you thought this video was insightful. District Court Judge Tanya Chutkan once again caused Trump's collapse, and this time it was so savage that he will not survive. I will go over everything in depth in this brief video. Before I begin, let me ask that you kindly subscribe to our channel if you think our content is interesting. I am grateful. Donald Trump, the former president, had a turbulent year due to several court battles. Despite being the target of numerous civil cases and 4 criminal charges, he is still the frontrunner for the Republican presidential nomination in 2024, according to recent polls. According to a report by Ross Story on Wednesday, January 3, 2024, Forbes' Allison Durkee outlined significant dates in the legal narrative that legal professionals will be actively monitoring in 2024. January 11. The defense team of New York Attorney General Letitia James will make closing arguments in a legal case that claims the Trump Organization greatly overstated the worth of its real estate holdings. Possible sanctions will depend on how the case is resolved at trial, despite Judge Arthur Engoron agreeing with James's position. According to Durkee, the former president might have to pay $250,000 to settle the complaint and lose his ability to run a firm in New York. Alternatively, he may also be prohibited from engaging in commercial real estate activities for the next 5 years. The civil trial for the libel complaint filed by journalist E. Jean Carroll starts on January 16. The lawsuit will determine the amount of damages Trump must pay in this specific case, despite the prior responsibility finding and the $5 million defamation award in a different action. Janitor Trump, 29, faces accusations of defrauding plaintiffs by promoting a multi-level marketing system in a civil case filed in New York. The trial is scheduled for the matter. Trump is in the process of moving to dismiss the case. The trial for Trump's criminal case involving election meddling by special counsel Jack Smith is set to commence on March 4. Durkee pointed out that disagreement over Trump's claim of presidential immunity might postpone the trial date. Allegations of fraud, slander, and overstating real estate valuations are among the legal challenges. The result might have important ramifications, including trade limitations, financial penalties, and possible obstacles to Trump's political aspirations. The legal battles the former president is facing present a complex web of obstacles he must overcome while he simultaneously considers a return to the nation's top office in 2024, despite surveys showing consistent support from Republican voters. In addition, the legal system will be crucial in determining Trump's political course. In the case of Trump, grave, scandalous offenses are coming to light. Special Prosecutor Jack Smith is adamantly opposing the widely held notion of presidential immunity as he develops his case against former President Donald Trump. Jack Smith continues to report on Trump's terrible offenses. The Daily Beast revealed on Wednesday, January 3, 2024, that Smith had compiled a list of hypothetical transgressions that alluded to possible bomb explosions as part of his trial preparations in Washington. The prosecution accuses Trump of taking bribes, directing the FBI director to falsify evidence against a political rival, directing the military to act in opposition to criticism, and even directing the sale of nuclear secrets to an adversary in another country. According to the prosecution, Trump might take advantage of presidential immunity. The former billionaire and the special prosecutor are intensifying their legal standoff as they prepare for a criminal trial scheduled for March, right before Super Tuesday. The former billionaire has presented himself as an enforcer of the law, communicated with the Justice Department, used his authority as commander-in-chief, or engaged in foreign diplomacy. While his legal team has expressed fear that the lawsuit could disrupt Trump's continuing presidential campaign in the state's primary election department, the president is making every effort to postpone the hearings. Smith, on the other hand, is advocating for a swift trial in an effort to disprove Trump's 2020 victory by providing GOP voters with proof that he broke the law. Important queries include whether Trump can legitimately argue that his acts grant him protection from criminal punishment. Appellate judges in Washington, D.C., continue to have authority over official presidential acts. Smith's attorneys expressed concern that Trump's purported immunity might have catastrophic effects on the future of the republic, implying that the former president's sweeping interpretation would protect his activities. His offenses occur in a variety of official settings. I sincerely appreciate you staying until the very end. Please share your thoughts about this news with us in the comments below, and don't forget to hit the subscribe button and give us a thumbs up. See you in the upcoming news. America, God bless you. Goodbye.